Hey FlossTube, it's me, Hannah the Okie Stitcher here with another FlossTube update. Today is Sunday, January 7th, 2024. So the only life update for you that I feel comfortable sharing is that I got a notification from Big Air Force on which job I can apply for. Okay, so I set up my 5, which was emergency management, religious affairs, also known as chaplain's assistant, paralegal, logistics, and personnel, which is also known as HR, like military HR. And the notification said that I could apply for paralegal, which is pretty exciting, unexpected, because I thought for sure it was going to be one of the first 2, not the 3rd, but I'm still pretty excited about it. I've heard really good things about the paralegal field on the civilian side. I haven't really heard a whole lot on the military side, but I know it's very, very diverse because the military legal has to do everything. It's not like on the civilian side where you pick and choose, like, oh, I'm gonna do family law, I'm gonna do property law, I'm gonna do, I don't know, there's all kinds of law. They're everything. They do contracts, they do criminal, they do health, they do all kinds of stuff. Like, even if you want to do fundraising on bait, like Girl Scout cookies, whenever we do that, which by the way is Girl Scout cookie season, and I will be putting Aoife's link down below if you want cookies. If you live out of the US, hit me up because we might be able to work out some shipping arrangements. Okay, so even fundraising on base, like Girl Scout cookies, have to go through base legal to be approved for them to sell on base. So very diverse. I'm really looking forward to it. I just don't know a whole terrible lot about it. There is a part of the application process, there is a 10-day shadowing observation time that I have to go over. And I'm really looking forward to that because I don't know a whole lot about them. Just very general things. Okay. That's it. That's my life update for this week. You probably won't hear a whole lot until I start leaving for tech school. All right. I've only done 2 things this week. One is this one. So Little Mermaid. I got this kit from newcraftday.com. It is a printed cross stitch, 11 count Aida. I'm doing 3 strands over 1 box. What else? Yeah, that's it. Oh, this kit is no longer available for purchase. So I do try to link everything that I'm doing in the comment box and over on Instagram whenever I post over there. And it's just, nope. It's nowhere to be found. Okay, so this is how big it is. I've done a little bit down at the bottom, but mostly I've been doing up here. And I did Eric's face, well, part of his face. So I've been trying to knock out a lot of the 310 because that's, the yellow is the 310. So as you can tell, there's a lot of 310. So trying to do that as much as I can before I get burned out on it. And then I want to go back and do a little bit of like the face and stuff, like the exciting things. But every once in a while I get burned out on the black and I do some color. So. Okay, oh, and then my lunchtime / travel piece is this one. Got this pattern off at Etsy. It is still available. I am not doing called for. I am doing 25 count Lugana even weave that I got from Hobby Lobby. Color is steel blue. Don't know if I said that or not. I am doing 1 strand over 1 box. The floss is Calypso from Weeks Dye Works. And I started in this corner, and then I started with the N, the O, in an artist. And then I went down to the first leg of the H. And I went down to the first part of the M, and then this is gonna be the T in district. And then I'm gonna work my way over this way to the D, and I'm gonna work this down. And then I'll have the first side of the first box. And then I'm not sure where I'll go from there. I don't know if I'll finish the top box and then go on to the second, then the third, or if, I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet, but that's that. So, oh, and the needle minder is from Becky Got Crafts. Becky Got Crafts. All right. 2024 plans. The only plan that I have every time. Oh, did you see our snow? We got a little bit of snow. It's not very pretty. It's just a little dusting, but we got a little snow. Okay. As I topple everything. Okay, so 2024 plans is very simple. So, sorry. Okay. I would like to start doing more complicated patterns. I have a Hade in my stash. I have a memorabilia. I got Blackbird, Yellow Submarine. I got a handful of others, okay, that I really want to get started pretty soon, because I kind of have the opposite mentality of a lot of other crafters when it comes to mortality. Okay, like a lot of people are like, oh, buy and start all the things like you're immortal. Well, I have the opposite. Okay, I am very aware of my mortality, very aware, and when I'm dead and gone, I don't want my family to have all these unfinished projects that they're like, well, now what am I gonna do with them? Because no one else in my family cross stitches. So what are they gonna do with them? Same thing with my stash. They're like, what am I gonna do with all this? Sell it? Give it to the dump? I don't know. Like, what am I gonna do with this? And I recently found out that a lot of thrift stores actually don't really do anything with craft supplies anymore, like, because it's not a big money thing for them. So like, unless it's an unopened kit, they don't really do anything with it. So next week I am going to do a pattern parade, and as you'll see next week, it's not a super impressive pattern stash like a lot of other people, because when I buy a pattern, I really think about it. Like, it'll sit in my cart, I kid you not, for a solid month, and I'll think about it. I'm like, do I see that up on my wall? do I see myself being passionate enough about that to stitch it, not nonstop, but do I see myself stitching it like constantly until it is done? Or do I see myself getting bored with that? And most often than not, I'm like, no. I like the novelty of it kind of wears off, and I'm like, I don't really see, like, yes, I still like it, but I don't see myself liking it that much that I'm gonna make it a priority piece. That's what I was looking for. Like, do I like it enough to make it a priority? So that train is extra loud today, so sorry. But there are a handful, and I've shown most of them over the last year of what I've purchased and received as gifts. So my main thing this year is to go through all of those, and anything that's not DMC, so the Karen Water Lilies, the Krynic, the Classic Color Works, Week Dye Works, the Mill Hill Beads, like anything that I can't get at Hobby Lobby, that's gonna be my priority to get this year, because I want it in my stash so I can start these things at any time. The reason why I'm not worried about DMC is because for Yulemas this year, I got 3 Hobby Lobby gift cards from various people, because what I've told people for the last who knows how long, if you don't know what to get me, you can never go wrong with Hobby Lobby or Barnes & Noble gift cards, okay? When in doubt, just go to either of those 2 stores and I will be a happy camper. So this year, normally it's Barnes & Noble gift cards. It's usually what I get, but this year it's all the Hobby Lobby, which is great because most of the patterns, there's DMC somewhere in them, even if it's not the majority. So I'm looking forward to that. Now I just gotta find time to gather up all my patterns, the color charts anyway, and physically go to the store and purchase them, because Hobby Lobby you can't buy DMC online, which is a real bummer, but I get it. I mean, it's a marketing technique to get you in the store, so you'll see all the cool stuff to buy that isn't on the website. I'm running out of coffee. I should have filled it before I came over here. Okay, so yes, that is my thing. And I will be looking at fabric, because some I don't mind doing the store stuff, like Hobby Lobby store. Hobby Lobby brand is what I meant to say. I don't mind doing that because it's gonna be full coverage, it's gonna be covered, so I don't need to buy anything fancy. But most of these, there will be fabric shown, so I will need to buy some nicer fabric. And I'm not promising that I'm gonna buy all of the fabric, but my main thing with the fabric is just having an idea of what I want, because none of the fabric is called for, because I think most of the model fabric is not good. It's not terrible, but it's not good. So I am going to do that. Yeah, so I'm gonna, to clarify, because I don't know if I actually said this or if it was just in my head, but to clarify, I'm gonna just have an idea of what fabric I'm gonna get for the patterns, and I'm going to make a note and put a little sticky note in the pattern so I don't forget later on when I go to buy the fabric that's my plan. Okay, so buy everything that's not DMC and then get an idea for the fabric. Though that's it, because I gotta keep my stress down this year, because I don't want to overwhelm myself, especially going into a formal school, because military tech school is like, you gotta think of it as like, you know, because okay, let's compare it to civilian world, right? I think the average paralegal, I think it's a associate's degree. I just did a very basic search, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's an associate's degree. So associate's degree, pare down into a couple of months. Like, that's a lot of information coming at me. So I gotta keep it simple. Now, something else that I thought you guys might like to look at real quick, and I'll keep this short because not all of the months are updated, but I have my 2023 book of days, okay? And this was a gift from Paula, Stitching in High Heels. I think last week I said her channel name wrong, but I do my book of days a little differently, and it is crinkled and warped from the use that I've done to this poor thing. Okay, so like here's January. So like I do my starts, finishes, my floss tubes, and then I put pictures. Now these are not super fancy pictures, although my printer did crap out on me just like all my other technology, so I might be switching to Walgreens like actual photos from now on. Sorry, in 2024, well yeah, it's 2024 now. And then I stick them in with stickers, or at least most of the time it's with stickers. Occasionally, if it's too big, let's see, like here's February. And then like sometimes there's really cool, and like I put small life updates, like February was cookie season last year. And then I think I put Aoife's softball on here, Berlin's Girl Scouts, bronze and silver. Whenever I read the comments, a lot of times I get really good advice, and so I'll write that in the comments section, the notes and musings. So this is really, really fun, like looking back. And oh yeah, goat yoga, and that was a free pattern that I stuck in here. And then in the back, last year I got a Christmas card. Last year I got a Christmas card from a small town needle. Why am I blanking on their channel name? I just call them Small Town in like normal conversation. Kim and Jade, everyone knows them. And then I got a Halloween card from Picky Got Crafts. So like I said, you know, like the way I do, there's October, there's Berlin's diamond painting Grogu that I finished. I didn't take I took a picture of it, but I thought that was cuter. So I just I do, oh, and this is when we went to the Titanic Museum. So, yeah, I do mine a little differently. July was a very busy month for me because I did the fair and then the library did a little art thing. I didn't win, but it was still fun. And then it was a lot of, these two were Christmas gifts. So, yeah. So I do my book a days a lot differently, actually, because a lot of people make it real pretty before the month begins with stickers and whatnot, but which is fine. I'm not knocking that. It's just not what I like, because I like keeping record, because most of my stitching is gifts for people, and a lot of mine are Etsy patterns. So if I just generically put in here the Poe piece, like if I just generically put in here 3-star mama cross stitch, like, am I gonna remember that years to come? Like, and I'm looking back on my, because I'm looking at these like journals. Am I gonna remember that when I look at my cross stitch journal? No, I'm not. I might, but probably not. But it also kind of goes back to that whole like mortality thing, where like my kids may not want to keep all of my cross stitch. You know, they may find people who will appreciate it more than they will, and that's totally fine. But they may want to keep my journals. They may want to split my journals up between them and keep those instead. Anyway, so I thought I would share that because I'm secretly kind of proud about this, and I can't wait to start my 2024 one. The only other, feels random now, the thing that I haven't talked about is there is a SAL that I plan on, I should have tagged my pictures on Instagram a while back, because it actually started at the beginning of January, so like a week or so ago. But it's the Princess Birthday SAL on Instagram, and it is being ran by Allison at Cross Stitching the Globe. It's a YouTube channel that she does with her sister Stephanie, and they did a FlossTube extra. So if you don't want to watch their whole channel, you can just go to the channel, go to the videos, and there's one that's actually labeled like FlossTube extra, Princess Birthday something. But anyway, it's titled that, so you can get all the information. So basically, I'm gonna keep what I'm doing, and I'm gonna keep stitching on my princess printed pattern, and I'm just gonna tag them. But I wanted to let you guys know, that way if you guys had some princess patterns, and it doesn't have to be specifically princess, it can be loosely princess. Like they had one that was a princess carriage, like the pumpkin, like from Cinderella. So that was a part of it. They just want interaction, you know, kind of like with me and my FlossTube. Like that's the only thing that I really harp on with my FlossTubes is like, I want comments, I want to talk to people, I want, you know, I don't care about numbers, I just want to talk to people. And that's kind of their same thing with this SAL, is like, they don't really care what you stitch, they just want interaction. They want to celebrate Allison's birthday. So if you have and it's going on the whole month of January, so if you have a birthday cross stitch, please join in. Okay, I think that is everything. Yes, that is everything that I can think of. I will let you go. I'm gonna go get some more coffee that's nice and toasty. And I will talk to you next week. TTFN, ta-ta for now.